Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics escaped elimination in Game 4. They would have to be on the same type of time to keep their season alive. Game 5 from Boston. No Gabe Vincent for the Heat as they look to book their trip in the NBA Finals. Celtics had other plans, in large part due to the aggressive play of their leader. How about Tatum for 3 and then Tatum to the cuff with ferocity? Celtics already up double digits and still adding at the buzzer. It's Derrick White for 3. Celtics take the early 15-point lead. White made a career-high 6 3-pointers. Jaylen Brown had been in a shooting slump. He wasn't in this one. He nails the 3. And then how about the defense leading the offense? Smart with the steal. Al Horford with the putback jam. Celtics jumping on the Heat. You knew Miami had some type of fight left in them, though. That's all they've done this entire postseason is fight. How about Jimmy Butler with the throwdown? Just 14 points, though, for Jimmy B. Well below his average in the playoffs. Miami looking for other guys to step up. How about Brown stepping up with the steal? And what can Brown do for you? How about score 21 points on 9 of 18 shooting with your season against the wall? Third quarter, it's more Brown attacking the rim. Celtics back up by 19. It's Derrick White with an open look. And how about D. White from downtown for 3? And then Marcus Smart. How about 23 points for Marcus? Celtics in full control. It's Tatum to Smart. Tatum had 10 assists to go along with 8 rebounds and 21 points of his own. The man who led Boston in scoring is right there. D. White again from 3. He had 24 points. And it's Boston once again escaping elimination for the second straight game. We're heading back to the MIA, yo. Heat can once again book their trip to the finals if they can win Game 6. What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, the one and only. I'm Mr. FERRO. The NBA Finals is close. It's really close. You want to make sure you stay tuned, locked, and loaded. You already know who's going to keep you covered. Wall-to-wall coverage. Each game, highlight, commentary, all that great stuff. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel right here. It is the place to be. Thank you for the love. Enjoy the rest of the video.
On there by Caleb Martin.
Hard screen.
Look at that.
Oh, look at the jam. Put in by Tatum. Timeout, Miami.
Dear Miami Heat Nation, I know y'all love y'all squad. I know y'all got a lot of pride. I just want y'all to understand where I'm going with this video is in no shape or form a slap in the face to you guys, but it is the reality of this series. As we now get to Game 6, I've said this before and I'll say this again. This series in no shape or form has been about Miami. We know what we're getting from this Heat squad. Eric Spoelstra has done a phenomenal job of making sure his team has been prepared to go to work every single game of these playoffs. Obviously, there was a little lapses early in the playoffs against the Bucks in Game 2. That was a little bit of a lapse. Obviously, you look at about one game maybe in the Heat-Knicks series where the Heat weren't 100% prepared to go to work. But more times than not, Eric Spoelstra's got his team ready to go to work. Here's how I break down the Miami Heat. I give them all the credit in the world in the first round. I believe that Heat-Bucks series was all about Miami just balling out. Second round, looking back in retrospect, I thought it was 50-50. I thought it was 50% about Miami Heat playing just great team ball, but I also thought it was 50% about the New York Knicks simply not being able to make shots. Julius Randle struggling. Double teams in Brunson's direction. Other guys can't make shots. So I say 50-50. Now we get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't believe this series is about Miami at all. They've been playing hard pretty much every game. This series has been all about this Boston Celtics. And it took me a while to kind of figure out this year's Boston Celtics team under first-year head coach Joe Mazzulla, but I finally got it now. The Celtics don't play hard on defense when they're not making shots. They won't be the first team. They won't be the last to fit under that narrative, but it definitely does apply to this specific Boston team. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Celtics are still a young team, all things considered, especially at the top of their rotation, right? If you exclude Al Horford, this is a really young team. But they've been around the block a few times over. I mean, give Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart a lot of credit. They've been winning. They've been finding ways to be relevant in the Eastern Conference. You could argue them alongside the Miami Heat have been the most relevant teams in the Eastern Conference the past decade and some change. The proof is in the pudding right there. You tell me what you think. I say all that to say this series is about Boston. When they're not making shots, not only do they not play hard on defense, they quit on defense. And obviously, again, with them being a team that's relatively young but has a lot of experience, that gets confusing. Like, yo, y'all been around the block a few times over. Why are y'all not playing hard? Y'all know how this goes. But it's still how it goes because we're still dealing with young guys. If Boston makes shots, then they're probably going to play defense. If they play defense and play hard, they're going to win these games. They're the better team than the Miami Heat. They just have more talent. And obviously what Miami's not getting, I feel like, enough credit for is they're missing 3 rotational players. Now, here's the reality. A lot of people are not familiar with the Miami Heat's roster 1 through 8, 1 through 9. They know the big names like Jimmy Butler. They know Bam Adebayo. They know Kyle Lowry. They know Kevin Love even, who's in the rotation, right? But a lot of people don't know the Caleb Martins. They don't know how important Gabe Vincent is, who missed Game 5. They don't know how important Victor Oladipo could be. It wasn't every night, but every now and then, Oladipo could have one of those games. He had 14 points, some energy, lock up on defense. He could do it. Tyler Hero, one of the 2-3 leading scorers on the team. He's been pretty much out this entire run. They're missing 3 rotational players as of right now. I do believe Gabe Vincent is going to try to give it a go in Game 6. That's a lot. These are not guys that wouldn't play if they were on a run in the playoffs. These are 3 rotational guys in their playoff rotation. That's a lot to overcome, and Miami's still doing it. And also, one thing that's important to say is they're losing some of their more athletic rotational players as well. Oladipo, Gabe Vincent, slept on athlete. Obviously, Caleb Martin still hanging around. He's one of their better athletes. Jimmy Butler and Bam being their best athletes. They're losing athletic rotational pieces as well, which is hard, difficult to overcome. They're right there. If you ask me for my Game 6 prediction, I say Miami gets it done in 6. That was my pre-series prediction anyway. So that's what I'm going to roll with. It looked like Miami was going to get the job done in 4 a few days ago, but give credit to Boston for fighting back. And again, give a lot of credit to Marcus Smart. I just think his temperament, when he plays hard, he's like the 35-year-old, 25-year-old. Like, he is the young OG of the squad. And, a lot of it's based off his energy, his will to win, his desire to just go out there and compete. He'll never get enough credit being next to Tatum and Brown, and I think he's become comfortable with that. He'll never get enough credit. The day Marcus Smart will get enough credit is the day he does what he's doing for Boston for another team. You cannot discredit his 5 steals that he had in that basketball game. I thought him just putting his body on the line for Boston in Game 5 was pivotal. Also, Marcus was really destroying Miami out of that corner, that left corner in that first quarter. Really helped set the tone for the Boston Celtics. He was just making plays for himself and others, knocked down a couple threes, a couple key passes that led to some open looks for Tatum and other guys. He was doing some damage out of that left corner in that first quarter, and that momentum just continued to swing, and Boston never looked back. Give Jaylen Brown some credit. I thought his energy was higher than it had been and more productive and more efficient than it had been, and I thought Jason Tatum from there commanded the show. Give the Celtics credit for making a series out of this thing. Now I think Game 6 will be the first great game of this series. Let me know who you got winning it. It's become closer than a lot of us expected. As the Denver Nuggets continue to rest, these 2 teams continue to battle out east. Jimmy Butler has already said that the Miami Heat are winning Game 6 no matter what. Hey, man, I don't know Jimmy to be a lie. We shall see who wins Game 6.